I wanted to do the birth story of my fourth child, my second son's birth story, how he came into this world. It's it's been about, well, he'll be 3 months, August 17th, so he's like 2 months and a week old, and I've never, done a video of a birth story, so I wanted to finally do one, and so here it is. He was due on May 18th, and I had prodromal labor with my third child, my second daughter, and so I was really worried that I was going to have that prodromal labor again, which is not fun if you've ever had it. It slowly drives you a little bit crazy because you keep thinking, oh, labor's going to start, I'm going to need to go to the hospital, and it feels like real labor. But oftentimes it's due to the fact that your baby isn't in an optimal position, and so you're having contractions, and it's your body's way of trying to get baby into a better position. And I didn't really have that with Thomas. I had pretty irritating contractions, but real labor didn't start until the 16th of May, about it was the 16th of May. So it was about 9:30 at night, and I kind of felt a little bit crampy later in the day, and I kind of had an inkling that labor was going to start, and it was about 9 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I need to go to sleep, because I kind of felt like I had a couple contractions, and I went and tried to lay down, but I was still timing my contractions, and it was like 9:30, and I was like, oh no, this is real. And so I just kept timing my contractions and breathing through them, and it was fine. It wasn't that bad yet. And it was maybe because I had this app. It's like, I think it was just called Contractions Timer app, and I really liked it. But it was maybe about 11 o'clock, and it had this little red lettering after I had timed my last contraction. They were like a minute long and probably about 5 minutes apart, but sometimes they were 8 minutes apart, sometimes they were 3 minutes apart. It was it wasn't really consistent, or what they tell you, but this is my fourth baby, so it is what it is. And it said emergency, true labor, go to the hospital now. And I was like, well, I guess we better go. And because I was really nervous about it advancing, and essentially, we only lived 5 minutes from the hospital, but I was kind of worried that it would be very, very uncomfortable, that 5-minute ride to the hospital. And yeah, it's a googly eye, I see. Okay, remember?
I just want to save it for me.
Okay, you can save it.
Go
put it in your treasure chest.
But I want it for me.
Okay, you can have it.
Okay.
And so we went to the hospital about 11-ish, and we got checked in and everything, and it's almost like they didn't believe me, because after going through, this is my fourth birth, I just kind of know what works for me, and I just kind of go into my own zone. Michael, please take that to your room. It's too loud. It's too loud. And so I know what works for me, and I just kind of go into my own zen, like my own zone of just breathing through the contractions. And so they finally checked me, and I think I was a 3 when I got there, because I had dilated a little bit at my last appointment, because I was, I would have been 40 weeks on May 18th. And so I just essentially labor on the birth ball for a couple hours. My husband took a nap, and I was really lucky that my doctor, the doctor that, I saw and that I wanted to deliver my baby, was on call that night. And so we talked, and just kind of waited. and it was maybe 2:30 in the morning on the 17th that, whoa, 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 sorry about that. It was maybe 2:30 in the morning when I was in transition, but I didn't realize I was in transition. I felt like I can't do this, I need an epidural, I cannot keep going on. And my doctor came in and she knew, she was just talking to me and she's like, oh, you really want an epidural? And she knew what I wanted. She knew I didn't really want an epidural, but she was kind of talking me out of it without essentially acting like she was talking me out of it. And she's like, well, by the time, she checked me and I was like an 8. She's like, yeah, by the time the anesthesiologist gets here, you probably have already had the baby, and he's not going to be able to get here in time. And, after she checked me, I realized, oh, I'm in transition. That's why I'm shaky, and I'm having these doubts and these feelings. And so she broke my water after a little deliberation because, I don't know, I'm pretty natural-minded when it comes to childbirth, and I didn't really want to have her break my water and, I don't know, risk possibly having me have a C-section or something if labor stalled, or, I don't know, anything, any intervention comes with risks. And so, but she broke my water, and labor just really advanced quickly after that. It was like maybe a half hour after she broke my water that I was completely dilated, completely effaced, everything. And I had wanted to give birth kind of kneeling, or like not standing up, but on my hands and knees. And so it was about, he was born at 3:36, and I pushed like for 2 minutes, she said. So I'm guessing about 3:30, I got the urge to push, and I turned around, like essentially facing the wall with my back to the doctor, and was on my hands and knees, and I essentially just gave one great big push and pushed him out. He was born at 3:36, and we had to deliberate for a little bit because we hadn't decided on a name yet. Fourth child problems, and we named him Thomas Xavier. And he's been a lovely baby, and he's just so smiley right now and so happy. He just loves to be cuddled. And yeah. So that's the story of his birth. He came out very fast. He was kind of belchy and kind of spitting up a lot of amniotic fluid, like as he was nursing. Like after he was nursing, he would spit up amniotic fluid because the doctor and the pediatrician were saying that he probably ingested a lot of it because he came out so fast. So that was an issue, apparently. He lost quite a bit of weight initially before we even left the hospital because of ingesting the amniotic fluid and him spitting it out. And so that happened, but he's fine now. He has gained quite a bit of weight. He's pretty chunky. He was 8'6" at birth and 21 3/4 inches long, I believe. And he's not my biggest baby. My first son was 9 pounds 12 ounces and 22.5 inches long. And then my first daughter, my second child, was 7 pounds 5 ounces. And then my second daughter was 8'7". So I thought it was kind of funny that Emily, my second daughter, was 8'7", and Thomas is 8'6". So, but he's doing pretty well. He has a lip tie, and so that's made nursing a little bit more difficult, but he's still nursing, and he's gaining weight, and he's doing well. And so that is the story of his birth. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comments box below. Thanks.